Hello guys, editing Arty here. I forgot to say in the second take of this video, after I had no audio on the first take, I will be making my rifleman guide. I'm just really sick right now. My nose is fucking shut. I hate life. This video was painful to record in a way because I just constantly had to clear my throat just like now. Sorry if I missed some things. I mean, I just tried talking about the roadmap a bit. Hope you still enjoy it. As I said, Rifleman Guide, it will be coming. I mean, I have 100 subscribers to celebrate, so I want to deliver. Just enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see the other video that I'll try to push out as soon as I can. And just, yeah, let's see what this roadmap holds. Anyway, editing Arty out. So, hello guys. Sick retarded turtle here. I forgot to record my audio the first time, and I'll try to record that now. So I'm dying. Yeah, but jokes aside, Crytek launched a roadmap, looking at the future of the game and what they achieved so far, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna read it out, give my opinions on it, and I mean you can put your opinions in the comments. So let's just see what it has for us. Let's see. So the peak that we have here is starting here. Hunters, 2025 is coming to a close, and it's time to talk about the future of Hunt. Following a 2024 relaunch, which delivered an engine update, the vast map of Mammon's Gulch, a release to new generation consoles, and a myriad of foundational changes, this year has been about solidifying our footing. Your feedback was clear. Alongside exciting new content, the core game needed polish and a renewed focus on the heart-pounding tension that defines Hunt Showdown. Did the game need polishing? Hell yeah. Did they do it? Yes. But I don't know what they mean by the focus, because I mean, like, not really anything has, in my opinion, changed really. We heard you. 2025 became a year of dedicated balance as we worked on the health and performance aspects of Hunts, releasing new content while honoring the game's unique soul and executing our long-term vision. We channeled this focus into a series of in-game events: Garden of the Witch, Judgment of the Fool, and Web of the Empress. More than just new content, these events served as vehicles for meaningful updates, delivering foundational polish, balancing, and tweaks across updates 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5. We deployed over 1,000 fixes and improvements. Yeah, they did a lot. You gotta give them that. But I mean, there's still a lot to be done. I mean, mainly just modernizing the dated game a bit. But I mean, they're doing their job, and I feel like we can just give them a little hand clap for that. And look forward to the future just being brighter than ever. So, yeah, kudos to them. Now, with Web of the Empress, we've confidently shifted from reinforcing our foundations to forging the frontier. This update brought gameplay mechanics we spent months ideating, prototyping, testing, polishing, and carefully tuning. The swarming bile weavers, our new nest weavering signature monstrosities, found a warm welcome from veteran and new players alike. Tarot cards, a new system of 12 powerful consumables that reshape the strategy of each mission and offer great boons with great drawbacks, and new opportunities to get shot in unconventional ways, are likewise beloved. Most of them, anyway. I hate the world. I hate the magician, because I mean, the magician is kind of shite. It's a very niche card, and same with the world. The world loses all its worth because one thing that I criticize also with the master clue is Crytek. If you design master clues, please allow them to ping the wildcard target, because while you say, oh, they can't be tracked with normal clues, I get that, but the thing is, if the main boss gets banished and there's a wild target, then you have no way of finding it besides the normal thing, so the card becomes bloody useless, never mind the freaking master clue. So please, Crytek, make it so that the master clue can uncover even wild targets. So, otherwise, I mean, the Hanged Man is a bit of a weird card because its main strength comes from you changing your settings to show the HUD permanently. So I feel like they should rework that to make it a core feature, or just remove the ability to see the enemy's HUD, because I mean, the card is already pretty strong. It's pretty good. Seeing where the enemies are, where they're going, how many they are, is already very, very powerful. And I feel like we don't need a somewhat, I guess, feature where you can see the enemy's loadout by just changing a setting for yourself. So I feel like they should maybe balance it on the settings your enemy has. So if they have it like on auto hide, then you should only see it if they switch weapons. My opinion. Otherwise, just make it a feature that you can see their loadout loud and clear. I don't know. You decide. The tower is also kind of useless because you either bring it into a compound to clear it, or you clear the nest with it. You don't really do it after the bounty has been banished because it just gives you away and handicaps you for a second by making some of your health charred. So I feel like some retweaks may be needed. I mean, the sun, the garden, for example, those were some pretty good cards. I mean, the chariot is obviously super, super strong. Those cards were pretty nice to use. The fool, kind of pointless because I feel like the fool oftentimes just spawned and you were like, okay, or you got it, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? I need a card for the fool to do something. So maybe they should make it that if you don't have a card to be generated, that you can use the fool to generate a random card to appear in your inventory. I feel like that would be a great buff for the fool if you don't have a card with you. And they could maybe limit it so that it can't be a chariot or something like that. The new direction is powered by you. From the triumphant returns of Thunder Shower to the reintroduction of certain legendary skins, your voice has directly shaped the Bayou and the Gulch. We are listening to you through comments and surveys at major industry events like Gamescom and TwitchCon and on our streams. And we are committed to ensuring that every new feature earns its place, preserving the tense tactical core you love while carefully building towards the future. The foundation is stronger than ever, and we're just beginning. Our vision for 2026 is built on a singular and powerful promise to players to give you more ways to live, fight, and express yourself in the Bayou and the Gulch. This means that deepening the strategic and tactical sandbox while ensuring the fight is fair for all, expanding the world of Hunt with deep intentionality along the way. I mean, here's the tier list. This is 2026 now, by the way, I forgot to mention. So let's look at it, like the roadmap. The roadmap obviously shows us story challenges. I don't know what these will be, if they'll just be challenges unlocked with level ups, if these will be like little campaign missions showing hunter lore or something like that, or unlocking custom skins similar to Trial. So we'll have to see what they are. I'm hoping they'll be something good and not something that's just forgotten after it's released, because that would be kind of sad. They'd have some potential there with the Hunt IP. New event, so far only known as Update 2.6. Let's see what it'll be, if it's like a season or if it's just basically an in-game event like we have going on now. We'll just have to see. We obviously have the increased player expression, which seems to be badges of masteries of certain weapons or certain achievements, which are pretty dope. I mean, I feel like they will honestly add a lot of individuality to each one's profile and be able to show achievements such as weapon masteries or unique ways to kill somebody or use gadgets. If you're looking at, what we have here with the firebomb, for example, or the guns/weapons. Then Inferno's coming back, which is a condition I've never played, due to the fact that back in the day you could actually choose whether you fought at night for increased pay, or if you just played normal, which was always during the day, but obviously gave you lower bounty payout. I personally always played day because that's when the gunfights are the most fun for me. Nowadays you don't have a choice, so bring it on. Inferno's cool. Plus I play with trios nowadays, so then it's not so bad to play a trio game mode / wildcard condition. Then they're bringing tier 3 hunters for more skins, which I'm hoping that they're just bringing back some of the old skins that went missing, because I mean people have been begging them for so long, and making new skins is cool and all, but bringing back the old ones is basically free real estate since you've already designed them, kitted them out, and it's just a matter of putting them in the current game engine, so that's great. Then a new season model and event structure. So I'm wondering if this will just mean that there will be seasons and in-game events, like two separate things, or if this means that the events may last longer or whatever it is, or the themes may be more deep or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what they announce. The more hunters per match is kind of cool, but I'm hoping that it'll be also leading into more hunters in a single team, because I mean, like, squads or 5-man teams would be pretty cool just to play with more people as the game is growing. And I feel like that would also make for much more immersive gunfights, just having these large battles while still staying true to competitiveness. and just allowing for giant skirmishes, because I feel like the chaos that evolves from having these large squads would probably be dope and cinematic at the same time. And it would also just be interesting to see how it goes when there are so many people fighting for the same side, and just like the giant gunfights that would erupt on the map. That would be pretty cool. It could also mean that in game modes like trios, if they don't introduce more man teams, that it will just be less empty, which I mean it's positive and negative. Because the good thing is, if the lobby is relatively empty, the advantage is that you won't have so many clusters fucks. But I mean, it obviously also means that at time it may be boring if two teams run into one another and a third one joins in. Then two teams may already be out of the race in trios, for example. Then we have anti-cheat improvements, which are obviously needed, especially in higher elo. I haven't played much high elo. I'm 5-star. Been in 6-star maybe like 2 or 3 times. I don't really like it there. I prefer my more casual play style, just memeing around with some weapons that aren't always the peak, but are still fun to use. So I feel like there's some great potential there. Yeah, let's see. I mean, Bileweaver is returning. I'm wondering in which context, and if it will also have like a lore reason to why they return, or if they maybe like quote unquote spread out. But I think we shall just see. I'm just hoping they do it well, because integrating them into the lore always makes it much easier on my mind, because I'm like, they actually put the thought in it and they logically explain why things are returning, for example. Then we have fairer matchmaking, which, I mean, I guess that means less wiggle room for solos to be down tiered or something, maybe. Or maybe more punishment for down ranking. I don't know what they mean with this. We'll have to see. I'm just hoping that'll attract more new players to the game, just simply to try and learn it. New loadout system for diversity. I'm wondering what that will mean, because I mean, like, new loadout system, it's kind of, I guess, scary to think about depending on what they do, because I feel like Hunt's loadout already have a clear sparkled kind of must have or duty. So just like revamping it could be a bit difficult, like especially if it's like major changes that may affect the way certain loadout slots are balanced, you know. Improved social features, finally maybe friendships in game, basically where you could just add people in game, even if they're playing on like Game Pass, because that's one of the biggest problems. If you want to play with somebody that has the game on Game Pass, you're kind of shit out of luck, because you can't add them, because you know you can't just connect Game Pass with Steam, or maybe like Steam can one day do that, that you just can connect the two platforms just to play with the friends from the other platform, because having to buy the game again is kind of annoying. If you do have it on Game Pass, you know, you indirectly already paid for the game. So I hope that that is what they mean by improved social features, or maybe if they add like short, like a command wheel where you can give like little voice call outs that are voiced or something like that, or like in the chat. I don't know, you'll have to see. Going back to the text here, let's continue. Fair foundations. A level playing field is the bedrock of creative and strategic gameplay, and we believe every victory ought to be earned by skill and outthinking your opponent, nothing else. Our fight against cheating continues relentlessly. In the last month alone, we've banned over 14,000 accounts and deterred numerous cheating methods. It's a perpetual battle, and we are committed to long-term development and implementation of new tools to protect your experience. To which I must say, the problem with fair fights is not so much just the cheating, as it is just also wacky game design. I have plenty of times where I, for example, get stuck on a tree root when fighting in the forest and can't move while the enemy is just gunning me down, which I find, to be fair, also very annoying, and I don't need to face a cheater for that. So I feel like perhaps also smoothing out the movement system and certain aspect of gameplay could already help it, and also trying to kind of discourage spammy playstyles. I'm looking at you, frag arrows that now are scarce, or you know, maybe even making concertina arrows scarce, for example, could help, because the amount of scrapbeak hunters seems to have been increased. What am I referring to? Scrapbeak hunters are the kind of players that put concertina on every entrance of a compound with their bow, add concertina bombs, and also put traps there, and then they sit in a corner with something like a shotgun or their bow, and they just wait till you have to make a move or till they just run away. And that playstyle is annoying. It requires no skill whatsoever, and it's just overall damaging to the game because Hunt is most liked for its gunplay and the unique feel it has. It's not exactly liked for you suddenly being engulfed in concertina that somebody fires away from you, and you can't really fire back if you're using anything less than FMJ because concertina is bulletproof and it has the size of a Minecraft block in terms of hitbox. So I hope they do address things such as these strategies from just being annoying, because I feel like they remove the whole aspect of the game, skillful movement and skillful gunplay. Because if you just cover your enemy in concertina wire, because you can spam those things, then I feel like that's not really skillful or fair. I'm not exactly in the mood to lose a gunfight, because I'm running a melee, my enemy sucks, he pulls out a bow, fires concertina at me, which slows me down, gives me bleed, and does damage, and then, just fires another arrow at me, which yet again slows me down again, after I'm already moving at a snail's pace, and then I just die because of the bleed damage I take from removing the concertina, because there's no real counterplay, except if I'm running a saber or something of a slashing melee kind. So yeah, that's that. They've also said that our commitment to fairness extends to our matchmaking system. A balanced tense mission is an experience you want to come back to again and again. We made some good progress with updates with this system this year, and we're going to refine systems that give you that singular knife fight in a phone booth experience. Expect a series of tests and new experimental features throughout 2026 to make every encounter feel deserved, along with the improvements to regional service. What I just want to say to that is, I do like the tense gunfights. The problem that I have with a knife fight in a phone booth is that melee weapons and their hit reg are still partially very bad. So you could be running something like throwing knives, which have terrible hit reg, and be very, very unreliable with them. And I also wish that throwing knives would by default one shot, like at least the melee variant of it, or that they would make the assailant perk in this case a base attack for the throwing knives, because there is nothing more frustrating than using throwing knives, which don't one-shot horses, they don't one-shot players, and they don't one-shot when knifing, which is a problem because their hitbox is terrible. So you will oftentimes die by running throwing knives unless you're running them alongside something where you have to give up something vital again, and that's not really how you're supposed to play it, especially if throwing axes exist, which are much more consistent, do more damage, and much more useful, and the throwing spear, don't even get me started on that. Your hunter's legacy. We want you to take pride in your achievements and your mastery of the vast arsenal. To that end, we will introduce more meaningful game systems for you to express yourself. We are exploring a systemic change, such as how we can combine consumable and tool slots to unlock new levels of loadout diversity and encourage creative builds. This is something that scares me. And the main reason why I'm saying that is combining tools and consumable slots. I don't know what that means, but if they mean that there will be a way to prioritize certain things, such as having more tool slots over consumables, that is a terrible idea. And the reason it's a terrible idea is because it may just promote the use of traps. And you may say, okay, but it's a skillful playstyle, you have to know where to plant your traps. Yes, but the issue is this will encourage trappers. And the big problem with trappers is I have a friend that is a trapper, and he's super annoying to deal with. He traps every entrance to a compound, meaning that meaningful pushes, even from our side, are met with instant death. If I don't remember that there's a fucking kill trap on that doorway, but there's an enemy that I need to push, I will be punished because my teammate is running only traps, no medkits, no melee weapons, but just his primary loadout. And that is very, very annoying. Plus, not to mention the fact that traps can be so lethal these days, because if you're running all kinds of traps, that being poison, concertina, bear trap, and alert traps, you can get a decent amount of kills. Not to mention the fact that you can bring dark dynamite satchels, which are basically free red barrels, with the size of BDB, while being relatively quiet nowadays and being super lethal. Not really something I support. I hope that that's not what they mean, but we'll have to see what they mean by that. Anyway. The idea of these meaningful game systems for expression in regards to the arsenal is probably what I talked about, being, these like badges that you can put in your profile. Or maybe put on your gun. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Furthermore, get ready for a significant addition to your arsenal in 2026. While we are not ready to reveal all the surprises, watch out for the glint of a new experimental firearm that harnesses a primal and destructive force, promising to open up entirely new tactical possibilities. I'm wondering what that means. Because primal, I mean, I have no idea what that means. I mean, we already have some pretty primal weapons. We have a harpoon gun, a bow, a crossbow. But they say firearm. So I'm wondering if maybe primal just means old in this case, I guess. Maybe like something like a blunderbuss or something. Some creative weaponry. I don't know. Like, we may just see if it's maybe some sort of new crossbow or something. We really gotta see. Maybe a slingshot or something like that. As strange as it sounds. I'm just hoping it will be interesting and well balanced in the game. That it won't be too shit, but also not ridiculous. So we'll just have to see what that is. But I feel like a firearm is something that, as the name says, fires with gunpowder, at least. Slash black powder. So, yeah. Evolving Hunt. The grim world of Hunt Showdown 1896 is ever changing, and 2026 will see the return of much requested content reintroduced with new levels of quality. The spectacular wildcard condition Inferno is in active testing and nearing our quality standards. Its return will bring meaningful changes to maps and new AI interactions with fire. So I'm wondering what they mean by that. If that means there's just some AIs may react differently now or may not be susceptible to fire, or if they're just adding new AI on the side as well to interact with those fiery maps. Maybe if instead of some grunts, we also have something like scorched people or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. I hope it'll be something cool that freshens up the game and basically just adds more diversity, because I mean the core gameplay loop of Hunt is all the same, and just freshening up that gameplay loop or adding new identity to it is pretty good without ruining the immersion. We've also heard you asking about Tier 3 hunters. They will be returning in phases. While remaining tied to free progression systems, they will also be part of our experimental new unlock formats to add variety and rewards. Additionally, our Legend Return initiative will continue, bringing back early legacy content with fresh twists. I mean, bringing back legacy content with fresh twists is good. I just hope that it will be good reskins. Because there have been some good reskins, in the form of the Legend Returns. The Hunters have been amazing. I like the Scaled Warrior way more than the Scaled Ward. But my problem is the gun skins. Because while the Berthier looks absolutely dope, and I mean the Bomblance I also somewhat like, the Nagant, for example, looks hideous in my opinion, because having that like bronze or copper look while absolutely changing nothing else on the gun kind of makes it look a bit stale. But that's just my take on it. But bringing back these legacy skins with new twists sounds really good, and it also opens up a way for new players to enjoy old content without infringing on the old players' exclusivity. So I feel like that's pretty cool, and maybe they even find those versions more enjoying to add to their arsenal. Battle proven in Web of the Empress, Bile Weavers will also return to the Bayou to provide you with more crawling pleasures. Tarot cards have received a warm welcome, with 86% of survey respondents praising them, which means they will become a permanent feature in Hunt. When both return in future content, they will come with meaningful changes based on your feedback. That's interesting, because I feel like they may actually balance them in a way where some of the weaker cards like the World or the Tower will be readjusted, and some of the more annoying cards like the Chariot may also be readjusted in a way that sees them more suitable for long-term gameplay without discouraging, for example, newer players. Because I get that we all hate when a game gets made more casual for newer players, but remember, Hunt is pretty bare bones when it comes to onboarding, so making the game a bit more consistent and easy to understand helps us grow our player base and is what we ultimately want. Similar to some deadly old friends like the Shredder will be brought back into your arsenals in limited form after being carefully rebalanced. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Carefully is the key word here. The Shredder, when first introduced, came with frag blades. And I hope they don't bring them back, honestly, because they're obnoxious, they're annoying, and they don't really add anything. Having the equivalent of a 40mm airburst launcher, or sorry, the XM25 from BF4, if any of you played that, is not really fun in a game about tactical things. No matter the fact that, or like, not to mention that the things dealt bleed damage, which is awful because that means that not only did you get hit by something that airbursted on you with magic shenanigans, no, but you also got bleed, one of the most detrimental and annoying to deal with effects because it's loud as shit so people can track you down. And it is a detriment because it drains your health and forces you into an action where your gun is down. So I hope that the Shredder will really come back in a balanced manner and perhaps only stick with base blades or maybe an alternative to frag blades that aren't as annoying. You know, like maybe heavy duty blades or something like that. I don't know. Like, or maybe just normal explosive blades that don't proxy fuse but can be used for breaching doors or something like that. Seasons, events, and experimentation. Our events are also evolving. The 2026 Lunar New Year celebration won't just be a DLC drop. We have built a multi-layered event with new storied activities to explore. New features will allow you to actively participate in the story of a bookkeeper, not a warrior, who became a changed man to survive against a skilled hunter who plans to escape and become his own master. That's a great story about the game of skill. We will announce more details on these activities soon. For now, enjoy a teaser of the main hero of our story. I mean, I can show the teaser, but just look at it yourself. It doesn't show that much, really. I'm just going to show you the skin because they kind of showed it at the top already. Looking further ahead into 2026, we are ironing out the final details of a true seasonal model. Your positive engagement with longer battle passes has shown us this is the right direction for the health of the game and interest of Hunt players. Our goal is to create a seasonal structure that is uniquely fits Hunt's open PvPvE corrupted nature, offering meaningful rewards and progression without the feeling of exhausting grind. And while we get so many great and at times crazy ideas from the community, we don't want to split the community by dramatically changing what makes Hunt unique. We do want to experiment with new gameplay mechanics and therefore are planning to experiment with new gameplay ideas in limited experimental game modes. Good idea. Bring a game mode that is limited, like Bounty Clash was, and if it's good, it can stay, and if it's bad or if it needs polishing, it can just be passively brought back for testing while being reworked in the background. That's a good idea. Don't just throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. I also like the idea that they are embracing the longer battle passes because that means that even people that have a life besides being, for example, a student at a school or college can actually play the game. Because the best thing about games is bringing together generations to play with one. Dads playing with their sons, whatever. Like, not all people are just students or young people that play Hunt Showdown, and opening up the ability for somebody that has a normal daily life to play Hunt also grows our player base, even if those people are only on for a short time. Yeah. While we get so many great and at times crazy ideas for the community, we don't want to. Sorry, I didn't read that first sentence. Obviously, the community gives crazy ideas, and I mean, some of them are good, some of them are bad. But I mean, we ought to see what comes of them or what ideas they introduce. I hope that they stay true to what they said, that they don't want to split the community. But I mean, the problem is there will always be a certain split in the community, and you can only achieve a major ratio in the sense of that you just satisfy most people. You won't be able to satisfy all people because there will always be people that will complain, moan, and do whatever. Technology and the core experience. We are pushing the technical boundaries of what Hunt can be, and in-house technology teams are constantly working on creating better development tools to help us deliver content faster and less constraints. We are actively working on supporting more players in a single mission and will have news about in an upcoming technical test very soon. Interesting? We ought to stay tuned for that. Finally, we remain committed to polishing the core experience. This includes ongoing performance, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements with special focus on new social features to help you connect and play with friends. Our work on onboarding new players also continues. We started with Hunter bots in 2.4 and we're building further with new tutorial challenges and scalable bot difficulty. That's pretty good. Because that means that bots won't just be running at you and shooting after you've been in their screen for 3 seconds like I saw with my friend, but they'll also try to represent a threat, preparing you for the real deal, where people will get better as your matchmaking grows tighter around your neck. Our experiments are designed to help newcomers learn the game's depth and prepare them to die in the bushes with dignity, without sacrificing the hard-won knowledge and edge our veterans have earned over thousands of hours. I don't know what they mean with that, but basically all I'm saying is make the game so that you can onboard as a solo player. If people have friends, that's great. That's even better. But some people may play the game on their own or have a hard time getting their friends onto it. So somebody learning the game without studying a degree in Hunt Showdown is probably very, very good. I mean, the conclusion this year we've worked hard on the foundations of the unique Hunt experience. We fixed and polished a renewed game, and now we are working on making it fair, richer, and more expressive experience for everyone. The future of Hunt Showdown 1896 is brighter than a flash bomb and longer than the shadows at high noon in the bayou. Thank you for being on this journey with us, and thank you for our limitless creativity building the world's most elaborate traps. We'll see you very soon for the final encore this year, right as we begin a new one. Your Hunt Showdown 1896 team. Being brighter than a flash bomb is not hard, the thing is bloody useless. Please rework it into something like maybe a concussion grenade, with just a loud bang that maybe shakes your screen for a short second and blasts out your eardrums with tinnitus, because we know that blinding doesn't work in a meaningful way, because like if you bring blinding to the game, it's just an easy win for the enemy team. And right now it just can't stay this way, because the flash bomb either blinds you or it doesn't blind the enemy for long enough and you just die like a fool. So I feel like reworking the thing to perhaps a concussive type of thing or similar may just be better. Um, yeah, let me just quickly show you the skin. This is the skin they're teasing for the new event. We also see that it's a Mosin skin, which, I mean, it looks dope with those, like, writings, but it's a Mosin skin, which means that it's kind of overdone already. In the end, I'm looking forward. They seem to be really putting some effort into this, so we shall see what comes of it. Thank you for watching. I'm a bit sick. The new video will still be coming, the one with the rifleman guide, but I just gotta wait when I have the energy to do it. I just thought I'd talk about the roadmap in case people missed it and perhaps wanted my take on it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sub to the channel for more of my normal content, and I'll see you on the bayou someday. Sick Trottle out.